obviously put foundation first, concealer, and then on top of that, I used a bruise kit. Not a bruise kit, it's a theater makeup kit, a color correction kit, but I called it my bruise kit.
Listen to me. Defending yourself by throwing someone under the bus is not going to look good.
It's not about that. It would not be about me throwing you under the bus. You know what it would be? It would be evidence, tons of it, and it would be through years. And it would be unbelievable. I have been plotting to do this for 3 years, and while taking pictures of it and documenting it, just saving it up for the right time when I'm not asking for any money and have nothing financial to gain from it. But no one is going to believe that. No one is going to believe. Or I've been going through hair and makeup, or going through makeup through all these years where I have corroborating text messages between people that match those dates of those timestamp validated photos. It is a plan. I'm going to put makeup on myself and take pictures throughout years and just sit on it for years.
The grave of Amber's past is continuously being dug out as the evidence of her evil plot to ruin Depp has made the light of day. What did she say? How detrimental is this to her reputation? Keep watching to find out. Amber has been exposed to plotting defamatory attacks at Depp, and the whole world has finally gotten to confess this ugly truth. As a result of what she did, their ugly relationship turned into a heated court case between her and Johnny Depp, and it played out in all of its live stream infamy recently and ended with a decisive victory by Team Depp. In many ways, the disgraced star was redeemed in the public eye when the U.S. jury found Heard defamed him in an op-ed about being a survivor of SV and DV. As revealed in the trial, the facts behind their relationship and Heard's allegations of DV were far from black and white, showing that Depp himself was also a victim of mistreatment at her hands. Perhaps the most surprising development was the social media reaction, which was mainly in Depp's favor. This was a far cry from when Heard made the allegations several years ago at the height of Me Too, when many took her side. Besides, fans are delighted about the U.S. verdict, especially with how much the world has seen that Amber Heard carried out a hoax, setting Johnny Depp up for DV, and she did this for years. Moreover, the Aquaman star persuaded at least 6 co-conspirators to carry out this hoax with her, even to the extent of being prepared to support her by lying to her in court. But that's not all. The fans have speculated that the bruises she took photos of were fake, and that she might even have ripped her own hair out. What this might also mean is that she faked the photos and staged dramatic scenes. Additionally, fans have claimed that she did all this to get revenge on Depp or possibly get his money, hence the reason she didn't donate the settlement to charity. Unfortunately, Amber's evil plan got so bad that it affected JD's mental health. Asked if his consumption of drugs and alcohol had been affected by his deteriorating relationship, Depp said, "Yes, I was more inspired by her to reach out for a numbing agent because of the constant clashes." The Pirates of the Caribbean star continued, "There wasn't a day that she would wake up and you'd expect something would hit the fan, and pretty much like clockwork it did. I had to have something to distance me and distance my heart from those verbal attacks. I had to have something to be able to maintain me." Depp also said that over time his marriage to Heard had begun to feel like he was in a relationship with his mother. "Things started coming up and I was suddenly just wrong about everything." He said, "If you tried to explain yourself and correct the problem, the misunderstanding, it would then begin to heighten as Ms. Heard was unable to be wrong. It just didn't happen. She couldn't be wrong." He added that little digs would escalate into full-scale, circular arguments. "There's no way in or out. If there's a dialogue between two people, both people need to speak, but there was no way to fit a word in." He said, "It was a rapid-fire, endless parade of insults and looking at me like I was a fool. At a certain point, what enters your mind, you start to realize you are in a relationship with your mother, so to speak. I know that sounds perverse and obtuse, but the fact is that some people search for weaknesses in people, that is to say sensitivities." Additionally, Depp told the jury, "The only ambition I've ever had in my life was to be a good father," but that the Justice League actress had told him on many occasions that this was not the case. "One can only take so much of that before the valves get shut off because you can't hear it anymore," he said.
Ms. Heard was unable to be wrong. It just didn't happen. She couldn't be wrong. So these little digs and it would commence with sort of demeaning, name-calling, berated, sort of to be made a fool of, and those would escalate into a full-scale argument. There was no way to fit a word in. It was a sort of a rapid-fire sort of endless parade of insults and you know, looking at me like I was a fool. I was sort of not allowed to be right, not allowed to have a voice. So at a certain point,
Additionally, Depp's friends testified that Amber really orchestrated the evil plot to defame and hurt Depp and executed it to a great extent. One of Depp's friends, Isaac Burridge, lived in an apartment owned by the actor at the Eastern Columbia building in Los Angeles between 2013 and 2016. Asked whether he was angry at the Aquaman star and her allegations, Burridge said, "Yeah, that kind of got me confused and frustrated and angry, upset. It's been 6 years. Am I angry? What I am is tired and I want this all to end. So many people have been affected by this malicious lie that she started and she created, and it's gone out the door and around the world. I'm not angry at anybody. I want the best for her. I want her to take her responsibility, heal, and move on." Becoming visibly upset, he added, "For Johnny, his family has been completely wrecked by all of this stuff and it's not fair. It's not right what she did and what happened for so many people to get affected from this. It's insane how this happened." Burridge was asked about his encounters with Ms. Heard in the days after an incident on May 21, 2016, in which she claimed JD got violent with her. He said the following day on May 22nd, which happened to be his birthday, he saw Heard again in a well-lit place but saw no signs of injuries, despite inspecting her face. "I've seen her no makeup. With makeup, glammed out. For 3.5 years, I've seen her in different forms." He said, "She puts her head out, and I'm looking. I inspect her face. I'm looking at the whole thing, and I don't see anything. I don't see a cut, a bruise, swelling, redness. It's just Amber's face." Mr. Depp's lawyers say the allegations of abuse are false, and the actress had been preparing to give the performance of a lifetime during the proceedings.
I don't see a cut, a bruise, swelling, redness. It's just Amber's face that she's going like this and showing me. So I'm not seeing anything. I back up and I'm making a joke. I make a joke going, "Well, I don't see anything, but maybe all the beauty from one side of your face to the other side of the face is outshining everything, so I can't see anything." And she's laughed and she's, smiled. And I just looked at everybody and said, "Hey, it sounds nuts." And I went and I said, "I gotta go." And I gave her a hug and kissed her on that side of the face. And then I left. Said goodbye.
What was her reaction when you kissed her on that side of the face?
Nothing.
Did she flinch?
No.
Did you see Ms. Heard again the next day?
Yeah.
When was that?
So that's Monday. That was May 22nd, my birthday. So then the next day is Monday, the 23rd. I had woken up with a chest cold, and I heard a knock on the door, and it's Amber. So I opened up the door.
Around what time was that?
That's, I want to say, maybe around noontime, maybe a little bit before. Maybe it could have been a little bit, I think around noontime again. And I went downstairs and I opened up the door.
And when you opened the door, did you have a good view of Ms. Heard?
Absolutely, yeah.
How was the lighting?
Lighting's fine. Lighting from outside, and there's light from my place, yeah, so the lighting was great.
Did you see any marks on Ms. Heard's face at that time?
No, same thing like the day before. There's no redness, there's no swelling, there's no bruises, there's no cuts, there's no nothing. Just Amber, looking like Amber.
Did you notice if she was wearing any makeup at that point?
She didn't look like she was wearing makeup then either.
Let's see how the fans have reacted. A fan wrote, "According to therapist Laurel Anderson, Amber Heard already seeking advice of divorce from her, and she learned she was strategizing with friends at least after December 15, 2015. To understand her plan at that point, maybe take a look at her evidence list back in 2016. Another fan added, "That time in court where Amber Heard described how you make a fake bruise instead of how to cover one, even including the use of a bruise kit. Well, Depp's persona has rebounded, and many expect him to one day make a successful movie comeback, while Heard's career is in tatters. Her reputation reputation is in the gutter now, and many wonder whether or not she will ever work again, especially now that it's been revealed that her Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom role has been dramatically reduced. There's more where this came from, so stay connected.